Welcome back to the channel. Now today is another house progress tour. Our 2-year mark of living here permanently was in July of 2023 and it's currently the 6th of September 2023. So it's been a good couple of months and we've really been working hard. In March we got the really cool news that Nisha was pregnant. So since then it's been full on, non-stop, full speed ahead to get the house kind of prepped. Now if you're new to the channel, we are actually leaving the property for 6 months and travelling back to the UK to have the baby and then coming back. So people who have already subscribed should be in the loop by now. So let's crack on and summarise what we've done for the last 6 or 7 months. So not a lot going on out here. Still didn't get around to moving the rubble. It is a little bit boggy and damp, but let's just carry on. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice is I didn't get round to giving the garden a haircut before we went, but I'm not too bothered. It should all die off for winter anyway. Not a lot to report on my left. Obviously, you saw the videos on the channel. We were harvesting strawberries in that little square patch there. We did have some raspberries and some blueberries, but it's all been kind of swallowed up by the overgrowth. Just recently lagged the outdoor tap, ready for the close down of the house, and also put some rugs into the meter box down there. If you follow the channel and saw the DIY rose trellis, you could remember we planted some roses red and white, so those poles are just indicating them. They grew quite well, but we didn't get the actual trellis in place. Didn't get around to moving all the rubble there, as you can see. Not too bothered, you know, it's just a bit of an eyesore. I will mention that there isn't a square window like there is there on this one, because we had to upcycle it and basically use it on the new patio doors at the back of the kitchen, which I'll show you in a minute, which I'm excited to show you actually. Pomegranate tree survived. Really happy with that. It might not survive the winter, it is only a baby, but at least it got established. Cherry tree is that stick there, didn't survive. And we were kind of neglecting the garden and focusing mainly on DIY. So we didn't really water a lot of the baby trees. And this peach tree here, obviously it didn't really come to fruition. We've got an apricot tree that's doing super well, and I've got high hopes with that. We've also got the apple tree there. Now this was the potato patch, so you can see it's starting to die off, and the sunflowers are just planting themselves for next year. DIY planter bed there with all the stonework, still looking okay. We'll get that cemented eventually. You can see that I didn't get around to demolishing the tour room, but there's a reason for that. So standing from the back of the garden, and I'll work my way around to the back door. The moringa tree is doing super well. It managed to grow like 2 splits and fork out. Now it's drought resistant. We've only just had a big storm, but it was been bone dry for the last month and a half. So I reckon the roots should be super established, and it actually drops its branches before winter, similar to like a walnut tree. So yeah, really happy with the moringa. Marabella, which self-tea, look at the trunk on that already, that's doing super well. We did have some wildflowers planted in here, but obviously as the seasons are getting changed, there's only a few left that you can see sticking out there. Not a lot to report on the hardcore bed, but I'm hoping to, you know, do the little retaining wall and concrete it all for the future garage. Not a lot to report in the polytunnel, just used for DIY store and logs. Coming round here, you can see the big excavation of the pool. Didn't get around to actually doing anything in it, so now it's just a jungle. We did actually get quite a lot of harvesting done in our next door neighbour's plot. There's still a few things coming out, but we're not too fussed. Not too fussed. A few tomatoes, and if anything, they'll just drop and plant some wild ones in the spring. Okay, so walking down here. So another obvious thing that you'll see is that we tidied all this and moved all the logs onto here. This is just a little bit of a boulder wall holding the weed mat separate from the grass. So I'll go into the first room and show you the changes. So this is just turned into a storeroom, but it's a lot tidier than what it was, and you'll notice all the tools are still in the cellar. And all the nasty insulation is off that wall because it's officially sealed from the other side. So all this will just be used for outdoor space, and there'll be like double French doors here. So as the house is getting tidied, really big obvious thing, you'll notice that I've actually managed to get a load of ballast and cover this whole back alley, which has transformed it. So I'll just show you from the other side. I've put the rest of the gas bottles inside over winter because I only need to use one. So I've also took the generator inside as well, and you can see from this angle it's looking pretty neat. Really happy with it. So I'll just walk back around to the front door and take you into the hallway in the upstairs rooms and show you how much it's transformed. Okay, and that's Nish just finishing vacuuming up now. So the first thing that is really transformed since the last house tour video is we pretty much rebuilt this whole lintel, got it all lime plastered, fixed all the ceiling and made the slope, and also managed to fit the chandelier which we bought on our first working holiday here. We're really happy with it. There's still a few snags, and obviously it's just a first fix kind of cosmetics. It'll all get plastered eventually. And we've just got to carpet down whilst we're away. First room on the right hasn't had any progress. It's just been kept tidy and kept clear. And eventually we'll sort all the electrics of that when we come back. Our bedroom, first room on the left, is just on a bit of a declutter right now as before we leave. Still haven't got round to fitting the second curtain, which is super annoying. But hopefully by the next video we'll have that on. And we're just living in it, really. Small bedroom on the left, aka future nursery, is just used to kind of dumping ground. It's a kind of a dumping ground at the minute, yeah. Yeah. So coming down the stairs, first thing we'll see is the utility room. And that's transformed as well since we left. Been boarded and fitted out with shelves. The boiler's working. We've made this worktop for the washing machine and dryer. It's all kind of in place, but it's made a huge difference. And that's just a shoebox there. Coming into this bathroom, not a lot has changed with the big structures of it, but we did get around to replacing the vanity unit recently, fitting the mirror on the wall permanently. And we've actually fixed the Velux leak. And the reason the joists are exposed, the 8x2 boards, is because the plasterboard got a little bit mouldy. But we've solved that, extended the flashing, and now we just ran out of time to re-plasterboard it. Really happy though, because before it was dripping into the bath and it wasn't very ideal. So one of the biggest jobs we've been working on is in the kitchen. And you can see straight away that we now have the new buttress wall built, constructed and painted, ready for when we come back. Now, I've explained a lot on the channel what the actual plan for this is, but I'll just briefly tell you again. So this will be a UPVC patio door double that goes out onto the garden-ish from the next room, which will be outdoor dining area. Above this, there's concrete post lintels, which is going to support like a 6-inch by 6-inch beam that will help support the board ceiling and our key into the corner of the house here. So we've upcycled these patio doors completely for free. All it just needs a bit of a sealer and some new glass. Also managed to upcycle an old communist era cabinet And Nish did that whilst I was working away from the house and fitted the Belfast sink in there. Also found some planks to match the worktop that we're really happy with. That was recycled communist cabinet as well. So they just need sanding and varnishing to match. All in all, super good progress. And the beam will be there in that corner. Last but not least is the pantry / cellar. So we managed to cement around and permanently fix this door casing. There's just a little bit of expanding foam on shore there, which would be cemented over eventually. But to take you into the cellar, we've got this bit of close guard batten here. This will be kind of crazy paved to bring it up to the level so the door closes against it. So this has got a 2-inch batten which will all be infilled. Coming in here, it's been nice and tidy. Obviously, everyone has the bag of bags and the Tupperware tubs, so it's just keeping on top of it. Tools are at the back. Fridge and freezer still not being used right now, but they might for our house sitters whilst we're away. The harvest that we had on the channel, potatoes, onions of both kinds. And that's recycling as well. And that's where the spare gas bottles are. So really, really happy with it. So I hope you've enjoyed the catch-up house tour video. And so for the next couple of months, we're going to be heading back to the UK, staying at our friend's house and having work and also travelling for healthcare for Anisha. So stay tuned. We'll try and update the channel where we can. And let us know down below if you like the changes within the last couple of months and from the last video. And if you've had any challenges similar. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to hit that bell and subscribe. Ciao for now.